To read.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
What can you tell me about the
Let me...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Why we still work here?
Dr. Reed will help straighten things out in Pembroke. I'm still waiting to see him.
That?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Rick.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. It's locked.
Is our little mystery closer?
I think of nothing else.
My situation is delicate.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
What's they doing? This isn't even my neighborhood. We're safe. Don't worry, we're safe.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Mutant Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital.
What can you tell?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same...
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Don't worry, we're safe. Don't worry, we're safe. Don't worry, we're safe. Fuck, it's fast! Let's see how it likes. He's dead! Oh, Christ! No one is here. Relax. Take it. That leech is fast! It's too fucking... It's one of them! Christ! It's dead!
Have you found Oswald?
Not yet, sir. I need...
All right.
I have all the information I need. For now. If I find anything out about your friend...
Thank you,
Good evening, sir.
So it is...
Do we know...
Actually,
Doctor...
he was also...
Have you heard?
I have no time for such triviality.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Doctor...
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Milton. I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
I'd like to see your...
Wise choice.
Good evening.
And good evening to...
Have you heard any talk of blackmail?
If you're running some official inquiry, you'd... Tell me Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know...
Tell me, Mr. Fitton.
Our first diagnosis was
But why would he hide such crude?
because he is a proud
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even...
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fear.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood.
Have you heard of...
I have no time for mortal games. My seat.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the... Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you...
Let me get...
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that...
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
more of it.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett. What can you...
Some are really...
Any
I don't always agree.
Ah, yes, the burden...
Don't get me wrong.
Tell me more.
Nurse Brannigan...
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further.
What is the...
This hospital is not exactly the best of...
It's more than...
Don't be misled by appearances.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
You've not...
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening.
Good evening.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when...
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
We're safe. No one is here. Relax. Don't worry, we're safe.
What must I do?
Don't worry, we're safe. Don't worry, we're safe. Don't worry, we're safe. Don't worry, we're safe. No one is here. Relax. Don't worry, we're safe. No one is here. Relax.
It's locked, all right.
There's one of them! Watch yourselves! He's done for! Die, vermin! Bloody leech! Burn, vermin!
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals. Or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do. Are you sure you're all right, sir?
Yes. Yes.
I can't believe I'm doing this. What sort of creature is this? Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check. Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her. Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell?
Nothing to say, really.
You mean
Yeah, I don't...
you don't have anywhere to go?
Not since the death of my wife.
Perhaps you could focus.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that... I'm sick of...
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now. Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy?
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really...
Hey! I didn't do anything, it ain't me!
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk...
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Good evening, Ben.
I'm afraid...
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosion.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it?
The doctors called me a liar. A coward.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods.
Now only the pills stop me.
A gun, out... Good evening.
Good evening.
Actually...
Then you...
Oh.
Ah,
Tell me,
the region is...
what do you...
Most of them are afraid, or dead.
Is...
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt.
Do you...
I don't like to talk about
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical.
I'd like to see...
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Working nearby.
Good evening.
You're here.
I'm not here.
Doctor?
Do you require...
Not me.
It's... That's an unusual...
I don't see what...
What?
That's simple.
Mr.
I understand.
I'm...
So it's a no.
What is...
I offer...
I see.
Well...
I don't... Tell me, what's your...
People are just beginning to discover what we...
What do you mean? I want to know everything about the recent violence.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few...
I don't believe even you deserve such...
Glad to hear. Nice to know there's another civilized individual in these parts. Not like those bloody savages.
You seem to have recovered well since your...
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you. I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you...
Dorothy Crane. Bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a...
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Goodbye, Mr.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. I must insist, sir. Please let me see Nurse Crane.
I have no time for you, sir.
I must insist, sir. Please let me see Nurse Crane.
I have no time for you, sir.
I cannot enter.
Strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me, just downwind.
It's locked. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you have a game you pay for peace.
Protection against malevolence and trickery.
Forgive.
Do not all quality. All quality. What the beast?
Good evening. Have you used
as a
where? What do you
also
quite a judge?
You
Well,
as a dog.
what do you mean?
The beast.
Really?
We must.
What is left?
Cleansing.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once that.
Purification.
Your lack of faith is predictable.
You're mad. Joseph.
Vicar God will
purific.
You're
Joseph.
Vicar.
Do you?
I don't.
So you're not exactly a fan.
Nuns.
Why?
Before.
I have heard enough that. Excuse me, sir.
Another journalist? I didn't.
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor?
Really?
I'm Joe.
May I?
I'll do whatever. Not familiar with this.
This part of town does have quite.
Totally. Dorothy,
could you please? Goodbye, Mr. Peters.
Welcome, sir.
I am Doctor.
Doctor?
How is
business?
I see.
It's no secret.
As a
What do you mean business?
Have you been?
No, but
Violent?
Yeah.
Where did this happen? Why did...
In the closed workshops nearby. I work there as a...
Have...
Nurse...
Yes.
Dorothy Crane.
That doesn't...
Your precious...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis. Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed. and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So?
I'm not bothered.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father...
Forgive my bluntness.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here.
You have a roof?
That's exactly what my father says.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies.
So that's why you stay at home? Or...
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living
Do you know no?
Yes, I know.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Goodbye, young man. Take care of you.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom. Is there only...
It's locked, all right. So, may I ask you...
I'm not...
Goodbye, young man. Take...
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Neighbours, for Christ's sake. I prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Even now, he judges your words and actions.
Don't be shy.
I'm not looking...
All right, then.
Christina...
I don't like...
Consider...
If it is going to happen...
You...
And you think... Are you...
I have no... I always...
You know...
Do you know...
I don't...
You seem to...
Dorothy...
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself. Good evening.
It's fu...
I have heard enough that...
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. Oh, glad.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel.
Not much.
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke...
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you...
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter.
He has
no. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in. He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel.
Why are
There's a war going on.
It's a
These are bad.
Have you...
I've had to run.
I must...
I'll remember to...
What is it?
He goes where none of his
So
Whitechapel is...
That's quite honorable.
Not at all, sir.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work.
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my...
Do you think things will ever change?
I believe the situation can only improve.
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening, sir.
Please be my guest.
Really?
I'm a poet.
May I ask you if...
Extraordinary poet.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
May I ask what you're...
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable if you...
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu.
If you say so.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go.
Are you aware?
But this is where I'm...
I understand.
I don't care.
If...
Well, you...
What are you...
Terrible, you...
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu?
My mum...
Most people...
Tell me, Mr.
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid? What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with.
And have you ever tried to learn more?
Maybe I prefer she...
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism.
Vivid, of course, yes.
Oh, yes? The...
I'll leave you alone. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Tell me about Richard Nithercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well. Goodbye then. The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in. Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to say.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right. If you want to...
We've not been...
I am.
So Dorothy...
Like myself and many people in this area...
She seems important.
More than you can imagine.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I...
Who is she, really?
She's not from around here, that's all we know.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Tell me everything you know about...
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leave.
I know you fought for your country when it was...
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country.
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor.
Do you have any family left?
Who knows?
Don't...
It's quite... No.
How did...
I'm her oldest friend in England.
You mean occupied Romania?
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu. What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure alone. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, Doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac. What? Are you making this up as you go along? We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
It's a leech! Kill it! Oh my God!
When
Goody.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. It's locked, all right. Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Burn it, boys! Die, Bernie! Let's see how he likes a bit of fire! Die, Bernie! It's down! Finish it!
The flower's dying. It needs water.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
No need to apologize, my lady. I know exactly what you endure.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades.
Anyway...
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why does
Dr. Swansea is a good...
What do you know?
The Brotherhood is well known.
And...
As you well know, suspicion has recently...
Why did...
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me, then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor...
What type of vampire is a Scar?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I know this is beyond...
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now. And 27 I shall remain.
Very well.
A lady has to have...
And who bestowed upon you?
My maker. He left this isle
I've been...
Things have...
The Spanish...
Yes.
What?
Fear has...
When I...
Though I can't be...
Once...
They have seen better.
You make them...
More as a sub...
Other...
Immortals.
Do you know...
You mean your maker?
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal.
Will they all...
I do not see why...
That sounds like...
Vampire politics are as intricate.
I've been...
Hush.
How could...
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny.
Excuse my forwardness, but... Are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
So we are...
How to put it?
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice.
So me...
I very much...
I'd like to avoid... I bid you farewell, for now, madam. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood. The scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it. Evening, Ed.
Please speak. Really?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently...
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu,
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a...
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy!
But the risk of infection using vampire blood could compound the situation.
I know, but your blood now carries remarkable regenerative properties. With our minds and your...
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No,
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan.